Hey everyone, welcome to the Metaverse Live. Are we still calling it that? I am not sure. Anyway, hey, welcome to the show everyone. And yeah, this is a weekly little live blog that we guys do over here at Metaverse Studios, giving you guys a little peek behind the curtain on what we do and all the fun progress we've been doing on our upcoming game, Project Artificial Legacy. I'm Mike Lockhart, the head honcho and pretty much lead of everything over here at Metaverse. um, so yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining me. So we'll just dive into things as we always do. Usually when we do these things, we just kind of give you guys all an update of what's been going on over here and the progress of the game. Uh, Boy, you would think after 140 episodes of this, I'd have gotten the intro done by now, but I am definitely still haven't figured this thing out. Jeez. Anyway, as I stated last week, we will be switching gears for this month only. Well, maybe not only, but for this month, we're going to be switching gears where we're going to take a break, at least during the show here, on working on the 2D end of our game and actually switching over to doing 3D. Um, which shall be a very interesting task because oops, I forgot to tweet that out. It's going to be really interesting because I have been dormant in my 3D animation and development stuff for quite some time. Last time I really seriously sat down and did any 3D animation, that was with our last game, Arbot Verse, and that was about 11, well, yeah, almost 12 years ago. So, yeah, I am pretty damn rusty. I am very far behind. Um, Originally, I had played around with the idea of actually using something like Blender, which has become more of a bit more of the popular platform for a lot of indie developers. Uh, Also played around with the idea of using 3D Studio Max, which is very popular. Um, was and might still be very popular among game developers. Um, Neither of those were platforms that I learned on, so I was very concerned about adopting one of those platforms and using that because I wasn't sure if I'd be wasting most of the show trying to learn it. So I've made the decision to, just for the sake of the show progressing well, um, and you guys being able to tune in, watch what's going on, and not being bored out of your mind with me here looking through tutorials on how to freaking do stuff. I've decided to stick with New Tech Lightwave, which was the platform that I used since, oh boy, I've been using it since 95. So it's what I'm most familiar with. Um, as we get jump into that later on, I'll kind of point out some of the things that are very different between between Lightwave and other platforms out there like that. I might fire up Blender just to kind of show you guys the difference because I do have it installed on my computer. I just don't use it. I've been meaning to use it. Just I've been so busy with so many other things, which kind of goes into what's happening this week. Let me just fire this up. So last week, oh, controller's not even working right now. Okay, keyboard time. So I'm hitting all the wrong keys right now. So last week, there we go. I've oh great, he's not even flipping correctly anymore. So previously I had been going through and making modifications to our villain, getting him to actually act more like a NES type bad guy, which um, most of them just walk back and forth. They don't really look for the character. They'll like walk from one end of the screen to the other end until they fall off. Um, well, not fall off, just go off to the other screen. Usually, probably delete it as soon as they leave screen. Um, but with this character. We spent the time to actually develop it so that it would follow you as you showed up on screen. So like, oh, he's totally broken right now. Okay, well, he respawns, which was something else we had worked on. Um, how much? This is just stuff not connected. It makes me sad that he's so broken already. I spent a lot of time developing him, and him not working properly is saddening. Um, yeah, not everything looks correct. This is the spot that flips him. I don't know why that's not working. And respawn worked, so that's good. It's in here in the movement area. I've messed around with this area so freaking much now that it's kind of ridiculous. And it was just to get it so I could have move from point A to point B and back and forth. Ah, that's why it's not working. Anything else? No, that should be it. Let's see. So if that fixed it. But anyway, I spent a lot of time trying to get this to work correctly. Yeah, there we go. Now he flips. Kill him. Let's see. Please work. Please work. I'll be very sad if you don't work. Yeah, he's not working. He's broken somewhere else. Something else here is broken too, but it's probably just another item that's just disconnected and not connected properly, which is just freaking irritating. Yeah, he's not lining up somewhere. Something's not working. And honestly, I could spend a lot of time trying to figure this out right now. So I'm going to stop myself from doing that. Let's just get out of this for now. Let's save. So I don't want to go off into that tangent and try to figure out what the hell just went wrong. Because, yeah, something went wrong. He's not working correctly. But, nonetheless, I spent a lot of time trying. I spent a lot of this week trying to fix him to get it so pretty much have one enemy blueprint to control two different things. And I just kept breaking the character more and more and more. Eventually, I just said, "The hell with it! I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm just spinning my wheels." So I've decided to just make another bad guy blueprint, and this one will be designed to actually move between point A and point B instead of trying to combine the two things into one. This character, while I did find some bad guys in some NES games where they would actually follow you. The first one that comes to mind right now was the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. Foot soldiers would follow you and go after you, and I found a bug where it's like, well, I don't know if it's a bug, but just the way it was developed. You could be on a platform above them, and they would be trying to get at you, just moving back and forth right below you. So I know these do exist. So, but the question is, do they exist in the time frame that we've given ourselves of chunk of time where we're allowed to reference and use ideas that had already existed? And Ninja Turtles, the arcade game, Ninja Turtles, the NES game, not the arcade game. That one actually is outside our time limit, so we can't use it as a reference game. So digging through, I haven't found a lot that actually do that. Usually, it's like the most they'll do is like if you're in their path and they detect you, they'll start attacking, and that's about it. So I have to go through, make the villain. I'm just going to take this blueprint, just toss it aside for now, because we will probably use it in the next game, which is going to be taking place, which are the, why is everything not working today? Which the R&D window expands into 1993, which pretty much incorporates a ton of games at that point. It's just at this point, it's like a lot of the stuff had pretty much a lot of stuff that we want to use exists at this point. So we got boatload of games that we can use as reference. The big thing is just we're going from a lot of mechanics will pretty much stay very similar, which is what was the case with NES to Super NES. Just some stuff was improved, and the graphics were 1,000 times better in my mind. So that's going to be the big push there. Last week we also continued to go through and update the map. As you can see here, we still have a chunk of the beige area still that I was supposed to get to. After last week's episode, I was planning to spend Saturday going in and finishing off this area. Didn't happen. My whole weekend got derailed. Never was able to get in and work on this. And the time during the week I had, I focused more on the AI and didn't think about this. So I got to work on this at some point. I'm not going to dedicate tonight's episode at all to working on this. As I said, this whole month it's all going to be doing 3D stuff, working on the 64-bit era character and the 128-bit era character, or N64 PlayStation era and the GameCube, Xbox, PS1, PS2 era. So those are the big things. So going back into here at some point just to wrap up this section will probably happen. Hopefully, maybe this week. We'll see. All depends on how my schedule is and what goes on. My weekends are kind of. This month is a tricky month because it's both my kids' birthdays, so weekends have pretty much been sucked up for at least half. At least half this month's weekends are sucked up. So it's all gonna be about finding time in the other two. But anyway, or I find time during the week. One thing that I have decided that I need to go through and start doing at some point too is I need to incorporate some stuff that breaks up when you go from left to right to up and down. So just some things to help trigger it, like a doorway. We were doing stuff early on to kind of do that. We had these like little doorways here, which were designed to kind of help break stuff up, but we need to do stuff that more along like right here. So you open up a door here, you go into here, and it knows that you're going downwards. Same would be like here. I don't know. These are things that we need to look into. It's something Metroid did to help when you switched from left to right to up and down. Because it's going to be something we're going to need to address, because you couldn't do seamless going up and down. Our other option was doing some effects with the camera, very similar to Legend of Zelda, where you'd go into it and it would keep shifting. But it's a little janky, and I don't know if it's going to work too well. So I'm figuring the camera, the doorway thing might be the best course of action. So we just kind of got to figure, like, okay, so in this spot here, we are switching. Once you enter a door that would be placed in right here, we are now officially switching to going up and down instead of left and right. So the doorway causes that pause that makes it say, hey, we're switching. So, but I mean, we would have to go through. It's like, okay, this is straight here, but this one right here, we would have to put a doorway here or something, or have it so you land here and then you've got to click a button to open a door and you fall through. Or the map was definitely not designed 100%. So this is, again, something that we need to look into on how we're going to handle this, because it definitely is an issue. I mean, doorways would be the easiest course of action. We just put some walls that, or have some things that you have to destroy, and once they're destroyed, it's saying, hey, once you cross over, we're going to the other way. It's the only thing I can think of right now. So we got to work on that. This is something we got to figure out. But for now, we are not focusing on it too much, because, I mean, there were options, and we just got to figure out which option we want. I still kind of like the shifting thing. There's nothing in the map that would cause issue with doing something like that because we don't have anything that crosses over too much. Ooh, this one though might be an issue here because we have it so. Though it kind of adds the challenge, so you gotta be like, okay, okay, kind of gotta take a leap of faith that you're not gonna get squished. But the other option is just eliminating this one altogether. But yeah, we got things we gotta figure out. I would really like to do that camera. I had been playing around with it at one point, or at least trying to implement it. I found a cool um, not even a tutorial. It was a cool tech demo of doing that camera effect. I really loved it. The problem is I was never able to migrate it over to our game, and I I think I spent a good month trying to do it and just could not get it working right. Um, I looked into trying to find tutorials that use the similar thing. Problem is they always were outdated, and when I tried to implement them, I was like, okay, I follow just tutorials like minute by minute, and it just wouldn't work. So I don't know if it's something that we did early on in the game that just permanently breaks it, or if it's the fact that we are using a newer version of the engine, because a lot of these tutorials were dating back like almost 5 years. So anyway, that is everything that's been going on here with the game. It is getting into a really nice state where we are definitely aiming at this point. I feel like it's reasonable with the idea that this game should be done for the holiday season, or at least going into beta this holiday season. So hopefully we can get it out in time. I would love to get this game up into like an early access program, like either on Steam or I don't know if Epic does something like that yet or whatnot. But to get it up there, or at least, or even offer it on our website where it's a Patreon, maybe. I don't know. There are so many options now. I mean, we could start a Kickstarter where it's like, hey, if you kickstart it, we give you the access code for a copy. I don't know. Right now, I am less focused on the selling of the game. I'm more focused on just getting this game into beta. I mean, we've been working on this for well. We've been working on this whole project for a few years now, and it'd be nice to have at least the first part of it done before next year. So, or at least close to being done for next year. Anyway, okay, well, that's enough of that. So we are going to now close down Unreal for tonight, and we are fire up Lightwave. Now, this is the part of the Lightwave that you do the 3D modeling in. It's called Modeler, of all things. It is a really nice, slick interface, very easy to work with, in my opinion. You've got the top. Wow, I want to point at things, but you really don't notice it. So you get the top-down view. Okay, I'm gonna draw some items. So I want to draw up here. This is the top view. So you just kind of like there, make a square. Top view. This is the back or the front. It says back. Again, this piece here. This is be the right or left side. I mean, you can go in and you can change which side you're pointing on. This is how I'm always. And then up here we have the perspective where you can readjust it whatsoever, and you can rotate it and see how your thing looks. Very basic, very simple. This is how I've always worked. I've always liked having the quad layout, having everything very kind of like, hey, look there. I just grab it, drag that down there, boom. Hey, look. There we go. I can just spin that around. I can just make modifications this way. I can select a point this way, adjust it. Just kind of move things around, see how that looks. It's really, I just like having it divided up like this. Close this down. I mean, to kind of give you an idea, let's me fire a Blender. Hopefully it works. Blender uses a very similar design, I know, as, yeah, I guess. I don't know. Uh, where it's like, this is everything right here, right now, and I honestly have no clue what the hell I'm doing. So you got modeling there. It's like, I guess, as I said, I am very unfamiliar with. Yes, yeah, I'm doing stuff, and it's not. I'm not even. It'd be nice if I knew what the hell I was doing. Uh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think. Can we? Okay, so you could do different workspaces, I guess. Holy cow. Yeah, so I have no clue what the hell I'm. Yeah, so as I said, I could spend. I had messed around with Blender early on when it was first introduced, and I was excited to work with it, but I honestly have no clue what the heck I'm doing with this one. And I guarantee I could probably learn it, but this one, it's like there, I've modeled it, and if I want to go to animate, it's a separate program. So I can go to switch to layout or hit F12 on my keyboard. It loads up this, which is layout. Yeah. So many original names. And then I can take over here, I can synchronize layout. Oh yeah, I have to save. I have to save first. Desktop. Not my desktop. I'm gonna make a new folder for this. So call it hero because we'll eventually be doing this. Okay, now I can send the object to layout, and boom, it's right in here. I can adjust my view here. I can go to camera view. I can see what the camera sees. Then I can take the object, rotate it, change the view. I can adjust the lighting, which I don't think this lighting is really that great. See, I can adjust the lighting. Very simple. I got all this stuff just to focus on animating. And I think that's one thing I like about Lightwave is it breaks it up into separate pieces, unlike stuff like Blender, Maya, 3D Studio Max, which crams everything into one program. Lightwave breaks it up. So when I'm here, I'm focused purely on making the edits, just simply working on the animation. Again, it's been a little while. Yeah, I can stretch it. So I mean, I can go in, I can add a keyframe. I remember how to do that. Yeah, create keyframe. So now if I can go stretch. I can also create keyframe this way. I can do 120. Okay, and now I've got it animating already. This is very basic stuff. I mean, I'm not doing a lot with character animation on this right now, but as I said, it's very basic. Well, not very basic. It's nicely broken down and makes it organized, and I'm able to focus more on what I'm working on. If I'm in like something like one of the other other programs, it's like everything's thrown together, it's mashed up together. It's confusing for me to figure out what the hell I'm doing, and it's just for me. I mean, Lightwave is popular, so I mean, there's probably other people who have other similar things. Lightwave was also designed more with Hollywood in mind, where it's a lot. Um, it used to be the more powerful. Um, it was the most powerful of them all. The great thing was, like, back in the day, because I actually remember a lot of this stuff from when I was getting to 3D for the first time, and figuring out, kind of like deciding what I wanted to learn. Um, Actually, what I was thrown in with Lightwave initially because I was kind of doing some internships during high school on just I was interested in 3D animation, 3D modeling, and I was able to do some internships with a somebody local that was doing stuff, but he was mostly focused on Hollywood end of it, so doing commercials, doing animations for Lego, and a bunch of other cool things. And so I worked with him. He preferred this one. He also liked Maya, but he was an Amiga guy, so um, he learned on Lightwave, and that's where he chose to stay with. So that's where I learned. And later on, when I was thinking about getting into game development back in high school, uh, people were saying, "Oh, you should learn 3D Studio Max. This is the one everyone wants because it develops very low polygon count uh, characters." Um, it was um, back then. It was kind of like if you wanted to do super high end stuff, you did Maya. You wanted to do super low end stuff, which was like video games, Tomb Raider, uh, Quake, Unreal, things like that. You would use 3D Studio Max because it did very low polygon count characters. Um, and if you wanted something that was kind of in the middle, you had Lightwave. Uh, but it wasn't. There were some games that did use Lightwave, so it wasn't unheard of that. Um, why aren't you saving for me? Oh, it's because there's nothing in here. So I mean, I decided, okay, I'm just gonna stick with Lightwave because there are people out there who used it. So okay, so now that I've given you a lowdown on what I use and why I use it, we're actually going to get into doing some 3D modeling stuff. So, uh, we're going to work on doing the N64 PlayStation 1 type character model. So, we are looking at a very low polygon count character for this. Our cutoff date for R&D for this game was going to be 1999, which that was 3 years after the N64 was released. Um, that was really close. That was actually that's yeah, that was right when the Dreamcast was being released too. So the thing is like a lot of your systems were still chugging along in 1999. Brought up actually was digging through trying to get an idea, and it's like 2000 was a huge year for a lot of stuff. I mean, uh, just looking over it right now, like, well, I mean, Conker's Bad Fur Day came out in 2001. We had Star Wars Episode 1 Battle for Naboo came out in 2000. Pokemon Stadium 2 came out in 2000. Mega Man 64, 2000. Banjo Tooie, 2000. And that's late 2000. It's November 2000. So I figured 1999 was going to be a good year. Um, let's see, what are some of the highlights from 1990? And actually, 1990 might be a little late. Actually, I think 98, sorry, 98 is going to be the cutoff because I figured we probably want the game to be released in 1990 because that was kind of the last hurrah. But I mean, yeah, 99 was a huge year, and 2000 was still a huge year. So getting a game out in the what, I just is that right? Yeah, Perfect Dark came out in 2000. So it fits into a good period of time where a lot of people are still using the console, having it released in 1999. Well, yeah, 1999 would be perfectly fine. Um, let's see what games came out in '99. Scrolling through this, I'm just focusing on N64 right now. But I mean, we had Super Smash Brothers. Oh, geez, how did I not even remember that? Yeah, Super Smash Brothers was '99. It was a Castlevania game came out in '99. Quake 2. Oh, that's good. Quake 2. That means Quake is on the list. Um, Pokemon Stadium, the first one came out. Well, at least the first one in the U.S. Episode 1 Racer. Ah, Superman. Perfect. That's a great game we can use as a reference. A reference to what not to do. Um, Mario Golf, Quest 64. Da, 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 da. Just going through this. Gauntlet Legends. What else? Jet Force Gemini. Rayman 2. So that means Rayman 1 was already out at that point too, but that was really a 2D game. Resident Evil 2 on the N64, so it was already out on the PlayStation. Donkey Kong 64. Turok. Looks like all three Turoks were out at this point. Um, Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. The Toy Story games were out because Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue was coming out in '99. I also remember that coming out on Dreamcast too. So Mario Party 1 and 2 were out. Tony Hawk came out in 2000. Oh, I'm going into 2000 now. But anyway, so there was a lot of stuff that was still coming out in '99. So having our game aiming at that area, and so R&D would be cut off in '98. So I mean, we got like F-Zero. I mean, F-Zero doesn't really matter because we're not using that type of game anyway. But Banjo Kazooie. It's like both Legend of Zelda's games were out at that point. Um, let's see. I should focus all on N64. I should look at PlayStation also. But there were definitely plenty of the N64 still had plenty of life in it for 1999 release date. So, and this gives us 2 years of between the launch of the console and our game release cutoff. So it's 2 years worth of games that we can kind of use as reference material. Um, so yeah, things definitely are interesting at this point. Let's see. Yeah, PlayStation has so many more games. It's so much harder to kind of take through. But I mean, PlayStation, yeah, also was. I mean, it was still huge in 2001. So 1999 was when we're going to cut off. I mean, see, what was it coming out in '99? Just out of curiosity, because at this point, yeah, they're thinking PlayStation 2, game, GameCube, Xbox, but I mean, they're the Dreamcast, yeah, had launched at this point, so was launching because it was launching in like the last half of '99. Let's see, we got. I'm a little less familiar. I mean, September '99 was Final Fantasy 7. Sorry, that's not. No, that's Final Fantasy 6 was coming out in '99. It's because the anthology. Why is it separate? That's weird that they have it listed separately. So that's my bad right there. Okay, Final Fantasy 8 came out in '99. So we still have Final Fantasy 9 hadn't even been released yet. So I guess kind of shows you that this system still had a lot of stuff. 8 was a big one. But let's see, keep going through. Ah, Croc 2. Trying to avoid the RPGs because we're not doing an RPG. Um, I'm honestly a little less familiar with PlayStation 1 era stuff because it was not the console I was playing. Uh, Bloody Roar 2 came out. Ape Escape was, well, 98. What, that was it for 99? They got, oh, well, that's America 99. So a lot of stuff that came out, I just don't recognize anything. Tomorrow Never Dies came out. Clock Tower 2, Crash Racing. You can definitely get that feeling that 98 was definitely, they were planning PlayStation 2 at this point. Honestly, if you're looking at this. Uh, but then again, I'm not picking up on what were the huge games. And then I'm also looking at America too, which probably also is not helpful. Oh boy. Come on, just give me some Final Fantasy Tactics 98. Grand Theft Auto was 97. Grand Theft Auto London was 98. Ghost in Shell was 97. I feel like there's a lot of games missing on this list. Anyway, so this is the day we're going to go. So we got some stuff that we can use as reference material. Um, a lot of kind of get an idea. I mean, nicely, Crash Bandicoot was nailed in 96. We can use him as a reference material type stuff. Mario 64, Shadow of the Empire was on the N64. Doom 64 was out, yeah. Um, Blast Core, the Turok games, uh, Duke Nukem. Though even though Duke Nukem and Doom, I mean those use more sprite stuff, so they probably are not going to be the greatest thing to use as examples. But yeah, we got quite a bit to look at, so I'm going to start working on this. Well, what I want to do first is actually start kind of to get an idea of what things looked like at this point, how models were made. Uh, so I actually went online earlier and downloaded some character models for stuff that I can just look at and see how things are built. Unzip those here. That. Oh, good. I do have a Mario 64. So I figured, like, just looking at how things where models were built. One I was trying to find was freaking Laura Croft, and I, for the love of me, could not find an actual 3D model of Laura Croft anywhere, which was just mind blowing. Because I figured that would have been an easy one to find, but I just could not find. Best I could do was finding this graphic here that just kind of showed you like when they transitioned over from when they did the anniversary edition, how they updated um, her polygon count, and like just look at how few polygons. I mean, her hand was literally a cube, and then over here it's like there's probably easily like 100 polygons just in her hand. So I mean, this kind of gives you an idea of what we're going to be dealing with. It's just this is what we want. We want something super simple like this. We want to avoid something like this. I found that was interesting. I really wanted just to kind of dive into her thing, but so I was doing some more digging around. Was it? So yeah, PlayStation One was able to do 180,000 polygons. So that was kind of what was considered the limit. Yeah, it says here, like I had to do research. I mean, this is one of the cool things that you really have to focus on when developing stuff like this. Like I'm looking into what was like, because we not only do we have to deal with polygons and the characters, we also got to deal with them in the world too. So, where the heck did I save that folder? Okay, here we go. Let's load up. Let's load up Mario. So I have a folder called new folder. Here we go. And let's load up Mario. There is a button. Yes. No, right over there. So here's good old Mario. His hat's not on correctly for some reason. Well, let's see. Good old Mario here is 838 polygons. This was the Mario 64. First one. Definitely see there's some texturing issues here and there. They probably had stuff built into it to help correct that. The hat seems to be a bit off, but again, they probably had stuff that was designed to fix that too. I'm just not sure what they are. Let's see his hat. Let's take his. Ooh, I missed a piece. That is really interesting how that's made. The hat is actually not assembled properly. Yeah, there's Mario's hat, which is 48 polygons. Wow, that's actually pretty big for a hat. What I'm doing is there's a if you hold tab, it actually smooths it out. It what is it? Medaverse, is that correct? I do not hold me to it because see again, it's been years since I remember a lot of the names. But yeah, so this is kind of giving you the idea of what we have to work with. They are separate. Is everything separate? Because that'd be awesome. Oh my goodness, they are. So one thing that happens more modern day now is that let's see. Load object. Let's load up Crash. I'm curious if Crash did a similar thing. Really? Oh, it's there. Why can't you know find? Okay, so see with Crash. Yeah, let me fire this up big time. Oh, there we go. So with Crash, this is why I like dissecting these games and figuring out how things are put together. Um, Crash overall, 732 polygons. He's actually smaller than Mario. Mario was, oh, with hat. I remember with the hat is 838. So Crash was actually smaller. So anyway, he also is smaller too. Is a thing. When they developed him, everything except for his shoes is one solid object. Now, with modern day games, especially, this is how they build them. They build them out as one solid thing. You put the bone structure in them. This way, the bones moving around. As you can see, like there's joints. As if I said like right here, there's like his elbow there. So when you put the bone structure in, when he bends that spot, it bends like a regular elbow, and it will compress the polygon counts. Polygon, just polygons. The polygons in that spot, and so. But for some reason, with Mario, they didn't do that. So with Mario, so I wish there. Could, let's see if I could. It's gonna be a little tricky here. Let's see if it will let me do this. So like if I move his arm, you can see how it bends. So in game, it would be very similar. I'm not sure if they did anything with mesh mapping that to help prevent. You can do weight maps on things. So like if you squeeze like that, it'll make like the muscle type thing, and it'll do a bulge right there instead of compressing down. I'm not sure if they did stuff like that with PlayStation 1 games. It is something I'd have to dig into. But with Mario, on the other hand, if he were to go in, move his arm, it's not connected. So what would happen is, of course I picked that arm. When he moves his arm, it actually just rotates within the same, it just rotates on it. So when you don't have to worry about it like squishing when he moves his arm. His leg is the same way. I mean, and yeah, his leg's the same way. So when his leg goes up or back, it is just pivoting, and probably why you don't use much with the textures. Because everything's the same color, you don't really notice it as much. But I mean, it's not connected. So I mean, you can move it all around. The polygons aren't getting distorted anywhere. Try to do something like Crash. Oh, let's get Crash's arm back. Well, let's use his other arm because I should have moved it. Actually, could. Why is no undo? There you go. Okay, so like with Crash, if I go and move his arm, like up past, see how he gets all distorted and bends weirdly. Also, like say I just move it, it stretches off. It's all attached. Now, if you go over to Mario again, intro to how characters were made. Yeah, it was totally how. So now, if I move his leg, it's disconnected. They're not connected. Now, the bones. I'm pretty sure they probably use bones here too. It will at least prevent them from flying off like that. Like having Mario running, and all of a sudden his leg decides or shoe decides to stay behind. won't happen with the bones prevent that stuff from happening. So yeah, it's interesting to see that Sony went this route while Nintendo went. Now, curiosity, again, this is the learning process and all this stuff. I have Mario from Mario Super Smash Brothers, so let's load him. Yes, let's find his shoe. Holy cow! What? Oh, there is shoe. Now, see, this is interesting. Nintendo's just using solid colors. They don't, not really using textures. Whoa! Why? Oh, that's okay. It's weird that that's part of the model. Well, just give me the whole damn thing for crying out loud. Still didn't get it all. Jeez. And his fireball too. It's all part of this. Huh. Okay. So now we have Mario here from Smash Brothers, and he's 320. He is tiny compared to Mario 64, who is 800. So over half the thing. But strangely enough, I think this Mario looks better. Well, maybe not really. Take it back. But here, his hat is still separate. But interestingly enough, he doesn't have a top of his head now. So this looks like everything is still separate, isn't it? Yep. Every piece is separate still. And you can still have him bend his leg. So they probably did something where it actually probably scooted up too. So you do have a huge chunk missing there. Actually, what probably happened was it probably bent here. So when his knee went up, it was like that. Well, his leg went up. So but yeah, so that's the interesting thing with all these. Just textured. There we go. That looks better. So that's the interesting thing with how Nintendo and Sony did things differently. Now let's look at. Yeah, I'm sorry doing so much of this. Let's look at. Yes, find the textures. Square and with bracelet. Whoa, that face is funky, but I think that's because it's supposed to be animated. $559. So I'm thinking 600 polygons might be keeping it under 1,000. It's like looking like the best thing. I definitely think closer to what Mario is would make most sense. Let's see. When it's like this. Oh, square, you dog. Interesting. So, Square also, well, at least with this, broke it up. Let's see, load another one. I have one more character, though. I think. Did I? PlayStation Mega Man. Yes, come on. Oh, see, that's a whole nother thing right there, too, is like Nintendo, every texture was separate. Here, on the other hand, holy cow, wait a second. I'm looking at the texture thing, so Crash, the polygons are colored. The only texture we had is his shoe. Mega Man, we actually have this, which is a texture map. So all the pieces of him are on one sheet, and each piece is called in on the character. Um, Mario, his buttons, eyes, hair. So he's got more pieces, but for the most part, he's a solid color. Yeah, that's Mario 64. And then if we go to this Mario, well, this Mario definitely has a lot more. And that, see, now Nintendo's getting into texture mapping because there's his face, there's his overalls, there's his alternative outfits. So, but like arms, hair, shoes, skin, those actually still were separate, just one bit colors. And Tifa, again, so that's one way to save on storage on the characters, but definitely, so Mega Man is definitely different. Let's see. And he's also not one solid piece. Well, actually, you can really tell that he's not one solid piece. Do I have any other characters here? Okay, here's Resident Evil. Let's check that out. Resident Evil. Well, it's also a Capcom game, so this. Let's see, where's Resident Evil? See, here again, we're using texture map. Object. Yes. Oh no, I don't want no. I don't want to give her that texture. So here we go. We got Claire and separate pieces. Wow. So it's interesting how Crash was completely done differently. But then yeah, we're dealing with Capcom, Nintendo, and then Naughty Dog. Do I have any non-Japanese companies? So it seems well, it's a Japanese company, but I'm curious. Here's an American company. I definitely should have dug some more. I'm curious now if America's the way America handled 3D objects was different to how Japan did. So far, Naughty Dog was the only one who did stuff really differently. Metal Gear, yes. This is Konami. Separate pieces. Interesting. Would not have expected that. But I wonder if that's just. See, usually you. So when he moved his leg, it's like that. They're not connected. Oops. Go bend that way. So he probably would have bent at this point. See, so that polygon would be hiding the fact that it's up. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, we have one last one that I actually had on here. Um, that's Quake. Okay, that's odd. But that also looks like he is one solid. Well, let's try loading the other one. Ah, there we go. Okay, that's better. Yeah. No, I'm gonna say yeah. See, now here he is one solid piece. It's also oh wow. God, only 300. Pretty good looking for under 300. It's very interesting that with Japanese models, they seem to be all broken apart. Yet American models, I mean, I only have two examples right now, but both of them were one solid piece, well, exception for Crash's feet. Very, very interesting. Okay, well, we spent a lot of time on that tonight. Anyone else I want to check out? Not really. Okay, one more. Promise this will be the last one. This was later on. This is closer to the end of the PlayStation era. Final Fantasy IX character. I'm just curious if Square may have changed how they handled it. For some reason I don't have textures. Oh, holy crap! 3,000. Wow. I wonder if this was. Oh, it would have been. No way this would have been not the in-game model, because you wouldn't have cutscene models in. Holy crap. No texture. That's weird. No textures loaded in here? Oh, there's no texture. Why isn't it loading? Huh. Anyway, holy crap, that is a huge ass model. But definitely, you can tell. Well, whole leg, whole arm. So at least they're getting. The heck did I just? Okay, it's still in a lot of pieces. That's the weird thing. With a lot fewer pieces, like the legs being solid like this definitely means at this point they're probably dealing with having the bending it with weight maps and stuff. So I would assume that's what I'm assuming is at this point that's what's going on. That's why her leg is one solid piece now, because they're getting into weight maps and stuff. Okay, well, all very interesting stuff. And close all. Huh. Don't save, 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 don't save. Okay, so so now that we've spent the last hour dissecting how things were done, just curious, I was starting to kind of dig through stuff. So this is where things are going to be interesting, where we're going to get into later on. On picking which system we're going to be looking at. Yeah, I am just lots of talking to this episode because there's a lot of stuff we got to dig into before we just start diving into doing these character models. So yeah, I'm sorry there's so much talking, guys, tonight, but this is all part of it. Um, so I mean, we're looking at things like okay, I'm gonna bring this down because this is very interesting. It kind of breaks down the hardware specs for both the PlayStation and the N64. I really doubt we're gonna make our game based around Saturn hardware, even though I mean Saturn was an option at the time. Our PlayStation, we have a 32-bit processor running at 33 megahertz. Wow, Nintendo was using a 64-bit processor running at 93 megahertz. Wow, that is substantial. Holy shit! Wow, I this is all new to me, so it's kind of cool reading this stuff. Yeah, 64 co-processor, 64-bit co-processor. Wow, power-wise, the N64 was a beast. 4 megabytes of RAM. PlayStation had 2 megabytes of RAM. I'm assuming that's 1 megabyte of dedicated video RAM. That is not something Nintendo had. Though they did have this 4 megabytes expandable to 8, the RD RAM system memory. So, oh wait, that's the same thing. Geesh. So yeah, Nintendo. Well, Sony only had 2 megabytes and 1 megabyte video game. Nintendo had. We could technically go with the 8, but we're probably going to just limit ourselves to the 4 megabyte version because you don't want to make a game that requires that expansion thing. Even though at that point, I think everyone had the expansion port thing anyway. Pixel drawing processor built into coprocessor, so it's built into that. Um, Graphics 3D geometry engine, 2D rotation, scaling, transparency, fading through effects. So GPU could handle 180,000 textured polygons per second. Yeah, see, interesting enough, Nintendo only says 1 million polygons per second. That's not saying that they're textured, it's just polygons. So, uh, colors. Yeah, we don't really care about colors. At this point, colors is everyone's doing colors. Um, all colors is no colors are off the table at this point. Oh, this feature geometry transformation, which allows average 360,000 flat shaded polygons, 180,000 textured. So if we make a character that just uses flat color, we can get a shit ton more stuff out of it. I think that's why reason why Nintendo was using mostly colors. So yeah, see, these are interesting facts. Again, this is one reason why I'm leaning more towards PlayStation is a possibility. But when we go make the third game, PlayStation triangle polygons. That's gonna be something that. Oh, I didn't even look into that. I didn't know if I should have paid more attention to it. I couldn't tell if Nintendo did a lot with triangle polygons or if they were mostly square polygons. That's something interesting. Something okay. Went back in for a second. Hold on. Let's load up uh, Mario. No, just all for now. I'm curious. No, there's triangle polygons, so they were using that. So, but curiosity. No, I don't. Not at all. Everyone's using triangles. I don't get that. That makes no sense. It's all place. I'm curious about Nintendo, not just Saturn. Okay, so here, interesting enough, yeah, we're talking about like textures and placed. N64 is greatly limited, results in more cartoony style. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so Even though Nintendo had more RAM for textures and everything, Nintendo really stunk for textures. Sheesh. So this is a big thing right here. So yeah, oh man, that's interesting. Sorry, just reading this stuff quickly. I know it's kind of boring when I'm reading and not talking at all. Um, yeah, see, this I don't really agree with. The best entries of the PlayStation library, including the 2D games, tend to hold up better decades later than the N64, but its worst games example can hold up very poorly. Uh, I don't know. I've tried, like, I have a pretty substantial PlayStation library now because over time, garage sales and stuff like that. One thing I was trying to do years ago was actually play through them all, and it was hard. The graphics were kind of painful to look at for a lot of PlayStation games. Um, I can't really think of. I mean, and I got also on top of that, like I recently picked up a PlayStation Classic, and those games just they did not age at all well. And but now I look at N64, I'll go back and play a lot of those games still. I mean, they also don't look the greatest, but things like I mean, Conker's Bad Fur Day, I still love to play to this day. That was like an end of life game, but it's still I loved it. So I mean, that right there is gonna be a huge tricky thing there. It's like we need to really kind of deal with the fact that we're trying to make a game in this generation and we need to make it look good. It can't look like shit. Because if they make it look like shit, no one's going to play it. What anything else here that's worth noting? Processes, weaknesses, PlayStation. There's a lot of stuff just about PlayStation versus Saturn. Okay, N64 could handle bigger 3D worlds. I like that. That's a huge thing I do like. Double resolution, textures. So here, interestingly, if we do consider using that memory card, the expansion slot, I mean, they're talking about um, doubling the resolution on textures, more polygons to the characters. That's a huge thing. I mean, the thing is, in general, if we went with an N64 game, also, it's just like um, the storage. I mean, that's a huge thing. So the fewer textures, the better, and that would definitely be a huge play right there. Okay, so that's interesting. It definitely giving me some insight when developing our characters, and it also explains why Actually, see, I didn't load any textures with this version of Mario, and look, it's already colored up. So, see, this one's all gray. So this was the Smash Bros. One. This one was using textures, and you can tell because since everything's gray. Uh, but with the Mario 64, he's all colored still, even though he shouldn't be. Yeah, see, okay, flat shade there. He is completely colorized, even though he has no textures whatsoever applied to him. So, I mean, this was something that, again, Nintendo did to free up space. And I know, I think later on, the PlayStation 2 actually did a similar thing where it actually used a lot more colored polygons than it did textures. Even though, I mean, it used DVD media and everything, it was one of the things that, it was one of the tricks some developers used to um, get characters to look better and stuff like that. But it's something I have to look deeper into. I just remember reading something about at one point that PlayStation 2 games used a lot less textures than Xbox and GameCube. But, okay, so anyway, just looking, see if I had any more details on polygon count, stuff like that. More than like, most likely we are looking at doing. What's this? Oh, this is interesting. Ooh, okay, so here's another interesting one I found. And it's a broken site, but it's for N64 games and it talks about how many polygons were in a given level. So N64 supported a polygon rate of about 100,000 polygons per second, 1,700 per frame at 60 frames per second, and 3,300 per frame in 30 frames per second. F-Zero almost does 3,000 at 60 frames per second. The vehicle select, that's don't even try. That's you stuff. Yeah, like when we go to GameCube, it was like 7 to 12 million polygons at 60 frames, and but we look here, like they break it down where it's like here's Majora's Mask, Clock Town, in intro was pumping out 5,272 frames. I mean polygons in there. Link was 802. As in the intro with equipment, 180 with Majora's Mask. Maskman was 717. Carpenter 400. Okay, that's great to know. So Hyrule Field in the intro was 2,925 polygons. Teen Link was 757. Perfect Dark. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's Super Mario 64. So, Bob-omb Battlefield, 2,352 polygons. Mario was 752. Does that match up with what we had over here? And this one's a little bit higher. Oh, wait. Out of curiosity, let's get rid of that. Just out of curiosity. Now, what are we at? Oops. 790, and they said some close. Maybe some things were fixed on this. I don't know. Or there might be some extra things in here that I'm not seeing. Maybe there's extra polygons in his eyes. Oh, there are. Move that, and Mario is down 779. Getting there. Could be something else here too, as I said. All learning about how these things were made. But anyway, so That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, Mario. So, oh boy. So we are looking at try. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be crazy. We are definitely probably got the. When was that expansion? Oh yeah, no, it would have been out by then. We were saying our game was gonna be 1998. 64 expansion pack. Where is that? Okay, the N64 game pack ROM card. Oh, no, that wasn't it. That's not what I'm looking for. Come on, where are you? Let's go. Okay, here we go. Game pack. That I want the accessories. Expansion pack. Okay, expansion pack was released. Why are you not telling me? Okay, I'm sorry, going quiet again, reading up on this. Because this is huge. This is. This pack was bundled with Donkey Kong 64 and in Japan. Okay, so when did Donkey Kong 64 come out? Donkey Kong 64. 1999? That's disappointing. Uh, this video was launched separately in Q4 1998. Oh, originally does intended disc system. It was launched separately in Q4 1998, and then bundled with the development. 1999 Japan launch package. The expansion pack bundled like 64, and in Japan the expansion part Majora's Mask and Perfect Dark. Majora's Mask was released in 2000. So here's our dilemma now. Our original plan was that the R&D cutoff was going to be 1998. Because of that, now we are restricting on the RAM issue. Now, nothing says that we. So Rare began work on Donkey Kong 97. We started halfway. 3-year development cycle. Okay, so that's interesting to know. Nonetheless, I mean, we're aiming for 1998 release of this game, which means we wouldn't have access to the expansion part. So we're looking at very small levels, or So we got our work cut out here, guys. So keep that file because that's a very interesting one. Okay, let's close all again. Don't save. Wow, hour and a half of just talking research tonight. That is crazy. So we'll just start. I mean, best thing will be just to start hammering away on this. I want to. Now this is the part where I have been so long with keyboard commands. I don't remember half of them. Oh, there's extrude. Oh, why are you not connected? I'm just throwing something together, just kind of regaining the feel for. I almost want to actually just get some 3D, get a character just to. Oops. Coming back to me. Big feet. Yeah, I definitely think I don't need like some type of drawing next to me just to kind of figure out what the hell I'm doing. Let's see if I can find like a base character just to work off of. Just a really simple character. Boy, you'd think this would be easy to find. Jeez. Okay, I'm just loading up this for now. Trying to remember how to do this stuff. Layer, no view. Display option. Oh crap! I have a lot of stuff to leave here. Where the hell did I save it? Oh, come on! Did I not save you just now? Save you on the desktop. Why aren't you showing the desktop? Oh, it's the format. Uh, I don't want. I want the on bottom left. And it's high resolution. Come on. Yeah, good enough for now. I just found this quick drawing. It's something I can just work off of to start. Just need something. So, create a box. Hold on. I want to do just there. Ah, there we go. Let's fix that. There we go. Okay, so now we can kind of do up the character a bit better. Interesting enough, this person did not do this thing out that well. Anyway, usually you start off with the upper body first. So let's just do that. What's the triple button? Details. There was an option to triple. Pretty much turn everything to triangles.
let's just multiply it first. Subdivide. Yeah, this is a lot harder to see right now. Okay. Edit display option. Change from yellow to something else. Oh, I think that works. No, I don't like that one. Purple. I like purple. Wish I could change the thickness, but I'll work with what I got. I want to actually do this. Oops. So having some symmetry on allows me to grab one point. If it worked properly. It's not. The hell. There, that's no, that's not working right. The hell.
Now we're definitely trying to keep this as low as we can. So trying to just get the basic form.
Yeah.
Now, as I said, this is pretty much just trying to get back into the swing of things. Because, I mean, one, this is not my... This is somebody else's drawing, not mine. Dang it. Really adjusting to this big time.
Nope, that's not what I want to do. Extrude. We can extrude again. Now I'm partially leaning towards the idea of
Probably going with that one solid character. Because as I said, it seems like that may have been the American thing to do. or the Western thing to do. It's better put.
What? Not moving. Oh, that's why. Come on. Fine. Be that way.
This is just going to be upper body.
Just the torso. The easier thing would have been
Just cut the damn thing in half. There we go. Flip.
polygons. Now, easy solution for this is to okay.
Double-sided. I know it's cheap, but so we got our basic torso done. Oh, it's because it's shiny.
Now,
Just change up the color. It's so hard to see it. There we go.
our character currently, just this little piece here, is 72 polygons.
You definitely tell some of this stuff does not look good.
Because we don't have that many perspective views on here. Not welding. This is another thing. I'm looking at this again. I should probably just like slice this in half and
Now we got all these extra
extra polygons there that I should probably also
ditch out.
U. What's R? No. W. There we go. There.
You can get all the ones that actually don't even work properly. Now we only got these ones that have 4 points. By grabbing.
I feel like there are extra points here, so let's merge points. 30 points. Okay. So now if we go here, 3 points. There we go. That's what I was looking for. And oops, no, I don't want that. I want polygons. Eliminate those bad ones again. So what are we at? Curiosity. We are 28 polygons.
Not bad. See how much nicer that looks, like all smoothed out?
I want to go here to apply, mirror. Nope. Let's go here. Points automatically. No points eliminated. Okay, so if I select that, good, I do get everything. So
Definitely getting the basics down for the character model.
yeah, it's going to multiply, subdivide. Wait, no, not subdivide.
There was something else.
Yeah, let's subdivide. So, I mean, yikes. No. Let's just triple. Yeah, so
Now 122. But it does give us a little more flexibility.
if we go in and let's try this again. No, still does not want to grab. I don't get why that's not working. So it used to work so well. Okay, I'm it's just left it like this to begin with. Oh, it is. Oh, triple that later. Triple that. I'm really hoping we don't go on going crazy with. Whoa, that didn't turn out good. Hold on. Probably because tail, merge points, automatic, 12 points eliminated. Now I bet you if we take that, here and move this down. Yeah, look, it doesn't
Not look bad now.
oops. Okay, so we're at 92. We still got legs and everything still down. We're still coming in low, which is good. So I'd like to try to stay around. I may keep her around 600.
So far, we're doing actually surprisingly good. Oh, actually, shoot, we haven't even tripled some of this area.
I used to know these keyboard commands like the back of my hand. Now I don't.
Which is a shame. Feel makes me very sad that I don't remember the stuff off the top of my head anymore. Every time I look at actually there's no reason why I shouldn't memorize this stuff still.
Ah. Oops. Polygons. Ah.
Our hand's pretty much going to be
Pretty basic, so not gonna be a lot to it. Mainly because this is one of those areas where we got to keep it small. Ah, do that. Let's merge points. extrude here. uh,
Pretty good hand.
Like these.
Now, 400 picked polygons. Really did not want to exceed. What was it?
So we're like halfway there on our polygon count.
Actually, that's not bad. Nothing says we might not be able to go in here later and
Decrease some more stuff. You know what?
very simple leg. Not
Very.
very boxy. Ah, I keep doing that. Damn it.
Probably save this.
Like that one right there could actually get deleted.
Say. Multiply. That merge.
Okay. So this still has a long way to go.
Let's see, where are we right now? We are at
400 polygons, not bad. Then you gotta remember, Link was 802 in the intro to Majora's Mask. Oh, let's see, 757 Teen Link with Shield. So left is doing the head, and I'm going to do some type of boots for her legs. But yeah, again, this is just really kind of revision one of her. Still figuring her out. Fine. Just realized I never switched views during for this episode. Oops. Yeah, it happens. So
for her legs, I figured I'd do like a boot thing. That way, get that nice. Like how so many other games that like they have like the feet attached this way when you do the bend. I mean, Solid Snake we saw earlier did something similar. So I figured, yeah, we'll do the same. Oops. I want to do something with it. That leg is still looks pretty off. So polygon, modify, let's see, multiply, extrude. Extrude. And last one, extrude. Oops. Now I'll go through. We will points. Fine. I'll do one more extrude. Yeah. Okay, so now we need to merge our points again. So everything sits together.
There, that's looking good. It's at least the best looking thing, but
Polygon. Oops. No, I don't want to do that. Now I've got tripled.
didn't really do what I wanted to.
Let's subdivide it. I know that adds a ton of polygons to this thing, but God, I really want to add some more.
See, that's what I want.
It's missing like the kind of roundness to it.
I got
a bad feeling this thing's gonna want to skyrocket our count. Okay, let's see what we get now. This thing is already 104. 900. We are way over at this point now. So we gotta. I mean, we haven't done the head. I mean, let's just throw in a head for now. At least fly, fly. We got at least Subdivide it once. Now we gotta subdivide it twice. Great.
Let's work with this first. Okay, so definitely needs work. Her arms are pretty off. Yeah, so we still got some lot to go on still with this, but let's see where we're at. Okay, so we're at 1305. I'm looking at the list of what I loaded up earlier. I'm just kind of seeing if anyone come close to that. Yeah, this thing's way too big right now. Yeah, we gotta drop her down a couple hundred, so that is what we'll do next week. There is. I remember there being something. Where is it? Oh wait, sorry, haha. That was edges. We are 924. Not bad. Could be better. Oh, wait, hold on. I spoke too soon, so let's triple our head. We're at 948. We're high. We're not as high as I was afraid we were going to be, so that's good. That is not what I wanted. There's this. Oh wait, no. It used to. I remember there used to be an option for reduce polygons. Oh, just got rid of some points. I'm free still. Okay. Ah, reduce polygons. Yeah, this is a yeah, that's not doing enough. Reduce polygons. Let's do a high. No,
we're not reducing it enough.
Holy cow.
That
Did exactly what we need.
I mean, that's pretty damn close to being actually usable as a character model. And it's like 474.
That's excellent, honestly.
I'm going to save this as low.
Because actually, wow, that did great. I mean, that even that frees it up so we can actually go in and actually add some additional elements, like work on the head some more, and boots actually honestly are fine the way they are now. But oh, okay, so this was a fun exercise. Kind of happy with how it's turning out. I might just continue to improve on this. I would like to probably do some line artwork to try to kind of make it a little bit more our own. Um, but yeah, it'd be also interesting to actually get this in Unreal and see how it moves and stuff. Not sure if I have to incorporate a skeleton now or if that might be something Unreal can handle on its own. These would be fun things to figure out. I mean, it might be just fun putting in a skeleton itself and animating it within Lightwave so we can kind of do a, instead of building out something in Unreal, we can actually just kind of do like a um, tech demo type thing. So, anyway, it is 1:30. We've been going at this for almost 3 hours, so I think we're at a good stopping point. Wow, yeah, I'm really damn happy with this. I'm already looking at some things I might tweak. I'm gonna try to incorporate a section here that's when we're looking for a belt, just so we can do that some of the color stuff that we were reading about on the N64. Um, that being said, we don't know which way we're gonna go. Still, it could be N64, could be PlayStation. Not sure. Um, there's a lot of stuff that leans towards the idea that we'd go PlayStation and drop Nintendo. There's a lot of documentation out there just that would really emphasize that. So that's why I'm kind of still very curious on which way we want to go. But yeah, so I think next week we'll keep working on this. Maybe start adding some color to her. We'll probably spruce up the head and get it more designed so there's more detail in it so that we can place an actual face on it. Uh, Maybe do some hair. I mean, the other option is we might go helmet. That's also a possibility. We might just say the hell with doing an actual face, have her wear a helmet or something. I don't know. Things we got to figure out because I mean we already incorporated a mask with her in the initial thing. Um, she may continue on with it, may evolve to a helmet. I mean, we were saying that Power Rangers could have been an influence on this version of the character, given that Power Rangers was at the height of definitely in its popularity at this point, and we're always looking for things. What would have influenced us on design and stuff? And given that it is 3D, I mean, we may have been like, oh my goodness, we can't get the face right. What do we want to do? And we may have just said, you know what, the hell with it. Let's just freaking put a helmet on her. There, done. Not to worry about stuff. So, anyway, thank you guys all for hanging out tonight. It's been great, and yeah, not much more to say. I mean, this was a good show. So, I'll see you guys all next week, and we'll just keep hammering on this, and we'll see how things turn out. So, so long. Take care. Good night.